Welcome back, Exiles, for Season 2's first novelty race. We'll be starting off with an Omnitect kill, a Twink Omnitect kill, not a vaal Omnitect kill, which a little bit typo here. Participating is Lara, PressStartToPaws, KittenCatNoodle, and CK. The Twink rules for this event is they may bring a tabula rasa and a weapon of their choice. Casting this event will be Octavian and Ziggy D. I'll hand it over to you guys.
Hey, Octavian, how you doing, man?
Doing pretty well. How about yourself, Ziggy?
Very good. I've had an excellent morning of casting. Welcome. It's a pleasure to have you here casting with me for this, what should be a very entertaining race. We have a bit of an unusual one with the Omnitect kill.
I think the most interesting question is going to be item of choice, because as Havoc said, they're allowed a uncorrupted tabula and one unique item. I believe, is it weapon specifically or unique item? I'll have to check the rules.
I think it was one unique weapon of their choice. So they could go for something that's stronger earlier, like a red beak or something that's a little bit stronger later on. It seems like, you know, a red beak is probably the go, but we do see one ranger here, so could be a storm cloud, possibly.
Duelists.
So it comes in a little late.
Stormcloud would be really interesting as well. Like you could go for an item that has a really wide range of rolls, and then particularly get a perfect one or something like that, and try and cheese out a bit of an advantage that way.
I guess we'll see when they get into town, and I imagine those items will be sitting there ready to go in their chest. The other thing is though, this is an Omnitect kill, so they need to farm up in an hour 11 incursions, do those incursions somewhat successfully in order to connect to the Omnitect, and then actually kill the Omnitect itself. So actually, I'm super giddy for this race. I think it's going to be very entertaining. A lot could go wrong in trying to get your first Omnitect kill and temple done. You just might not connect to the boss if you don't do well enough.
You're gonna need a setup that has decent enough clear early on. I'm thinking we're gonna see a lot of advantage taken through Ancestral Call, because Frostblade's Ancestral Call is one of the few things I've leveled with personally that was really able to actually clear incursions very early. And the earlier you can get those incursions cleared and the Stone of Passage that you need to get up to the next floor and get close to the Omnitect, the better. So we might very well see something like Frostblade's Ancestral Call or something else along those lines. There's it looks like
we're seeing a Screaming Eagle for Lara. We've got a Quill Rain for KittenCatNoodle. I haven't seen CKs or pauses yet. Did you see those at all? They could be later items.
Yeah, I've not seen it. If they tap open their inventory, I might. It doesn't seem to be equipped yet, so it's something with a higher level requirement. No red beaks. We know that much. No red beaks.
Did I say Screaming Eagle? Close enough. It's a squeamish eagle, all right. Don't worry about it, chat.
It's really shy. That's why they're having problems with eagle populations. They're just so shy. They're very squeamish around one.
A little bit squeamish. Thank you.
Trying to let you off that hook there, Ziggy.
Appreciate it. It's good to have the caster bro backing you up.
I'm also curious to see whether or not really early incursions will be skipped until maybe you get to ledge or some other linear zone that you can do repeatably with your presumably OP leveling item that you put, that you grabbed as your weapon.
Well, here's the thing. If we were doing zone repetitions allowed, that opens up a lot of potential strategies, whether it be farming ledge, farming ship graveyard, or farming, jungle, the first jungle zone in Act 2. But this is actually no zone repetition, so they can only do one incursion per zone. So the more that they skip, the further they have to go, the more traveling they have to do, and potentially, maybe even some boss fights to open extra zones or more side zones they need to potentially hit. The earliest they could get one is if they do every single zone would be early Act 2, I think. They were probably going to see people not full clear every zone looking for each incursion. So, but those start in mudflats. So as soon as we get to mudflats, we'll see what their decisions are, whether they're going to start going for that first one, because that first one is really tough. I think the players that picked the low-level weapons that you can equip from level 1 will have that advantage if they do choose to go for the first incursions. Quill Rain Split Arrow could well do that first incursion successfully. And they don't really care about upgrading the rooms so much as just getting those keys. The only upgrade you might want is the explosives room. So, I don't know. We could see some early incursions here. I feel like I'd go for that if I had that Quill Rain.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that you can't repeat zones, that really legitimizes picking up an early unique as your weapon of choice. So something like the Quill Rain. Oh my god, that was a close one for KittenCatNoodle. Almost going down to Hellrake. There is no penalty as far as I'm aware for deaths. There's not like a 1 minute time. Not a 1 minute timer penalty like there is in the more traditional races. But, you know, it would still be a bit of an annoyance to have to walk all the way back over to Hellrake. An Alchemy Orb, though, that could be very helpful.
Yeah, that's very nice. It'll allow for potentially like a glove craft is a pretty big deal, or a quiver even is actually a really big deal for a bow build as well. She can't equip that quill rain just yet, but she gets a quiver and that quill rain on, and she's going to be looking pretty good in terms of damage. The quill rain does fall off a little bit later on, but it'll do well enough for everything within the scope of this race. So that's actually a pretty good choice for a weapon. Screaming Eagle's an interesting one. It's like it's got that extra move speed, so it's a fair bit faster. The damage is good enough early on, but not so strong later on. Yeah. So we'll see how that plays out. Looks like we've got Screaming Eagle from PressStartToPaws as well. I haven't seen CK's just yed. What their choices?
Was it in his inventory? But he was too quick on that inventory.
I know it was so quick. I need to look faster. Need to blink less blinking again in this race too. All right, so we're seeing mud flats now. We'll see if there's any incursions.
I'm trying to get as clear a picture as I can of the temples as they naturally spawned. CK's temple actually looks really good. He's got a way, it seems, from the entrance all the way up right below the Omnitect. So if he gets one of those like top floor rooms as one of his incursions and he's successfully able to open his way to the boss, that is a huge weight lifted off your shoulders this early on. You don't have that.
First two incursions here too from Lara and Paws. Just keeping an eye out on both of them for the keys. Both killing really well, even taking down those champ packs no problem, without needing to worry about the boss. They look like they're doing pretty well on the timers. Yeah, I think with these early weapon choices, this is gonna go actually pretty well for them. They just need to make sure that they don't miss any like champs, especially champs and rares seem to hold those keys more often. So just trying to find that. There's one key for Paws. Very nice. So picking the right door, pre-plotting out, or as you're actually running it, checking the map in the incursion to find that right door to put it in. And it looks like she connected the apex with that one, so that's a really big hit for Paws. Already got that apex connected, though she may need to connect some zones in the middle somewhere as well.
And KittenCatNoodle on a very important incursion as well right now. Got sort of two individually connected sections of the temple where there's like 4 rooms on the left side that are connected and 3 on the right, but they aren't actually connected to each other, those 2 clusters. So she has an opportunity here to connect those 2 and open up like more than half the temple, which gives you a lot of options progressing upwards. So we'll see whether or not a stone actually drops. You know, that is the prerequisite. But, you know, keeping the timer pretty steady with Mirage Archer and a Tabula this early on with Quill Rain. Right now is when the setup is going to look the best. You know, you're going to get these early incursions with the Quill Rain and Mirage Archer. But later on, it might be a little difficult to kill the Omnitect, to actually finish that fight off.
She just swapped it. Kitten just swapped into that Quill Rain mid fight there, and the boost and damage. The instant she swapped, it was tremendous, massive damage bonus there.
Okay, no, she hit the right door. I was worried. I knew the left door would have connected, but apparently the bottom left as well. So that's good. We've got 1 room away from a Omnitect, inaccessible Omnitect, let's say, for KittenCatNoodle. And
I think we saw 3 very successful incursions from Lara, KittenCat, and PressStartToPaws. Have we seen an incursion from CK at all yet? Because I noticed he opened one, but he didn't go into it. So he's like saving those for later, potentially.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. Because I remember seeing his temple layout. His was the one that I commented was actually looking pretty good really early on, but I don't remember him running it at all. We'll have to see whether or not the temple layout changed if we get to see it again. Interesting. Also, we don't know what his weapon of choice is. Oh, is it a Screaming Eagle? He just swapped his weapon?
It looks
like it's a Screaming Eagle.
3 Screaming Eagles versus 1 Quill Rain. Yeah, I don't know, like, initially I was thinking maybe skipping some early on would be a pretty reasonable choice, but now seeing how well the incursions went for the other races, I'm wondering exactly what the plan is there. Whether he plans to get the majority of his incursions done in Act 2. I don't know, it almost looks like he's rushing for Ship Graveyard to do the farming in there, but I hope he did double check the rules of the actual race and is not going for like a farming strategy here. We'll see if he's doing this incursion. He is opening the incursion.
Doesn't seem to be doubling back for it though.
Not going back for it though. I'm so confused.
Hey, I'm sure we'll all be blown away by a next level 200 IQ strategy, or he'll be disqualified because he didn't read through the rules. But one of those two things will happen. I hope it's not the latter.
Yeah, I hope CK's strategy is not hinging on, you know, farming, because this looks like what would be a very good strategy if this was one where you're allowed to farm zones, which is going to submerged graveyard, the ship graveyard, because in there's a little tiny zone that you can farm really quickly to get those incursions, and it kind of looks like he's rushing for that. So I hope that's not the case.
Well, checking back in with the other racers, we're pretty much universally chugging along through the ledge at this point. CK is a little bit ahead in terms of zones, obviously to be expected, having skipped over those incursions. Maybe there's some breakpoint in terms of gear that he's looking for before he really wants to start these. Some skill gem that might help him out a bunch with single target, like the Ancestral Protector, I believe he just picked up, could assist him in taking down the architects and guaranteeing a room choice. But as you said earlier, room choices aren't that important. There aren't that many that are really going to be super helpful, aside maybe from the room that allows you to blow through a wall, the explosives room. Yeah,
this is not about getting the best temple or the most temple loot. That could make its own interesting race, potentially, yes. But that's somewhat subjective. We're just going for that Omnitect kills. It's just about getting that connected and getting that there. Have we seen any more incursions from our other races yet, or did they miss a couple zones worth of incursions there?
Well, we haven't been through too many zones still. They do start at the mud flats, as you said earlier. So I think we're... Oh god, I'm going to fail at basic arithmetic on stream. How many zones between mud flats and ledge? What is that? 3? If I'm not 2 or 3. So really there haven't been that many opportunities for incursions.
Yeah, that's true. It's pretty easy to miss some of those as well. Lara goes into her incursion here and gives a little bit of a nod, like she looks like that was a good incursion to get. It looks like it might have been an opportunity for a connect. Yeah. So she's looking for that key. And the keys are guaranteed. If there's a door that's not open, it is guaranteed that at least one of the mobs will have a key. There's at least one guaranteed key.
Yep. And
maybe some bugs at some point in the league. But yeah, she gets it and then just leaves. Like, there's no point farming the zone or anything like that. Once you got the key you needed to open, it's good stuff. And honestly, like, if I get a straight run to the boss, at that point they can just enter and leave incursions instantly. Like, you don't actually need to do the incursions if you've connected to the boss.
That does build your temple the fastest. Yeah, because that will still take the incursion counter over. CK with the commentary on his stream. Still, I think not having done an incursion yet. Maybe he's alpha blind or doesn't see her somehow.
Yeah, what's the alpha hello?
Yeah, don't know what that's about.
I mean,
you've come across her a few times, friend.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ignore Alva multiple times in a row and then complain when she doesn't show up. It's like, yeah, come on. It's like Alva's friend zoning me now, but you've been a jerk to her this whole time, so it's only fair. It's only fair. Be interesting to see how things play out for CK, because I'm not sure what's happening at this point for him.
A little bit of bad luck for Lara. The next incursion not lining up nicely enough to help her reach the top of the temple. That she is only one incursion away now from actually unlocking the boss. And as you said, that basically just guarantees you a straight line through to the end of the challenge, pretty much. I'm actually really curious as to where this would end up, because I was thinking, like you, that maybe somewhere early to mid Act 2, but honestly, it could potentially... Well, it's never going to be faster than that in terms of zones.
I think it is possible to get it before Vaal if you do every single zone, but yeah, more likely we're going to be seeing mid Act 2 from the looks of things, based on they've done a couple zones without hitting Alva. So, yeah. And for CK, I don't know, it could be Act 3. We'll see what CK's strategy is. Yeah, I'm still a little unsure on that one. We'll see what happens. He's moving very fast, though. I'll tell you what, this is a non-incursion race. He's moving pretty quickly. So
yeah, that'll happen with
that'll
happen with a Screaming Eagle and a Tabula on. Would be pretty nice to have gotten one of those in the earlier Vaal races, for sure. I am really interested if someone drops a Vaal orb. I'm really sad we didn't see any spellcasters, because it's not going to happen without spellcasters. But maybe there was a chance at a corruption to try and hit +1. Actually, no, the level requirement would have made it so you couldn't use it. Dang.
Are you talking about corrupting
DCLara?
rasa?
Yes. The
That is,
ultimate nerves of steel. I would love to see that, but it would make no sense because you wouldn't be able to use it.
Yeah, no, that would be a bad idea on all counts. But still, though, I would give someone a clap.
I never said my ideas were good, and still continual confusion from CK towards what in Alva is. What is Alva? Hello.
How is Alva? Where is Alva? When is Alva? Also a pertinent question given the time travel nature of this expansion.
Yeah, I suppose. Assigning that attack without moving a little bit late in the run, but getting there. And let's just check in with the rest of our racers. Very much neck and neck in terms of zones. Turns out that running every incursion slows you down pretty significantly.
Yeah, that's it. Like we see CK moving into ship graveyard now, and we're just now seeing some brews from KittenCatNoodle. So yeah, it slows you down a lot, but that's not the goal. Isn't to reach Vaal in this race. No, the goal is to reach Vaal's unusual cousin, little flying Roomba.
CK is running very quickly. He's running very quickly on the wrong racetrack, and Lara just got a room for her incursion, which allows her to connect to the boss. First one to do that, I believe. She has a line all the way up to the Omnitect if she gets the Stone of Passage and doesn't click the wrong door.
Oh, yeah. So, presuming things don't go wrong... Oh, there's the Stone of Passage.
GG.
Did you see which door it was?
Just, top right, which is where she's headed right now. So, hopefully no misclicks along the way.
That's the top left. Is that the right one?
Top side. There's only one room above them. It's the apex. If you're connecting to the boss, it's the only room above you is going to be the boss room. So Lara has a straight shot to the Omnitect.
Really good. That's a big deal. Yeah, getting that so early is huge because she can just save so much time now skipping incursions. Whereas before that you might need to do a lot more incursioning. But that said, if you were really thinking about it, you get an incursion that doesn't connect to any relevant doors, then you might risk not connecting it. Of course, the gamble there is, though, if you needed to take an alternate route through the temple based on kind of how things panned out, then you might potentially miss some of those. I've noticed no players have been checking the upgrades of the rooms.
CK has just finished his first incursion. I didn't really get a chance to see what he connected to or what room it was, how relevant it is to reaching the top, but he's done his first incursion in the ship graveyard here.
No, it's just such a late incursion, start on the incursions. Like he was definitely, he probably crushed it. I'm going to assume he crushed it at this point.
Oh yeah,
because by the time you get to this point and you have some leveling gear ready to go, you'll be crushing it for sure. But it's just so he has so many incursions just to get into. That's just a lot of zones to run through, and now he has to do them mostly in Act 2. So he's probably not going to get it until the end of Act 2. That's presuming he does every zone from here on out.
He is very fortunate that his temple spawn, like I said, 15 minutes ago or something, is really, really nice just as the base temple, because he's maybe 2 lucky connections away from actually reaching the boss. We can take a look here. All he has to do is connect that passageways to whatever was behind the question mark. I couldn't read it. There's a giant question mark in the way.
Yeah, my question, I have a more giant question, is why is that text still there?
I do not know. But it looks like he's actually bringing down an architect as well, so he's making a conscious room choice here. We'll have to see what the room ends up being. I think it was behind one of the letters as well, so I don't know what it is. Hopefully he still ends up getting a important stone and makes his way through one of the doorways, whichever one he needs.
I put in a humble request to see if we can get that text removed. We'll see what goes. See what happens. Yeah, I think it's possibly overstayed its welcome just a little bit.
Yeah. He's on the bottom left of the temple right now, so the connection that he makes here is about as unimportant as it can be with his current layout.
Yeah, so that's the one where in this particular room you could gamble just leaving straight away rather than it's difficult though, because I don't think the portal opens up until you kill a boss, so you might not be able to leave straight away unless you're willing to do a log out or something. I don't think you can actually portal out of them. So
I think the portal opened. Now you've got me second guessing myself. I'm pretty sure I've accidentally spam clicked and exited an incursion by accident immediately on entering.
Yeah, I feel the portal itself doesn't appear until after the boss though. Yeah.
We need confirmation from chat. I'm sure chat could spam at us and confirm one way or the other. I feel a little bad for KittenCatNoodle though.
Oh, it opens after a few seconds, so it's not an insta leave, but you have to wait a little bit. Okay, I see. Yeah, because it's not there when you first portal in. Like it's not there right away. So I assume it was the boss. Apparently, it's just on a bit of a delay, which makes sense. So you don't accidentally click it when you first appear in there, probably.
This is a relog from CK right as he opened an alpha. I don't think he was next to like a waypoint or anything, so he might have a bit of trekking to do to get back to that alpha. He can't open a new instance. That would be rerunning the same instance again, which is not within the rule set. One thing I do want to mention, though, a few moments ago, I got a glimpse at KittenCatNoodle's temple, and she's on 4 incursions remaining. 1 room away, we see it again here, 1 room away from reaching the apex, and Alva continually is offering really, really garbage rooms that are nowhere near helpful. So,
uh-oh. She might get to the point where she starts wishing that she'd been checking for those explosive rooms, because I haven't seen any of the players really checking for those so much.
I mean, with 4 incursions left and the chances at an explosive room or either of the top rooms, I believe if I'm recalling the layout correctly, connecting you to the boss, chances are decent, about as good as you can hope, basically, that you get the boss fight, but it's starting to be a little worrisome. And this is what I was talking about. Like, Lara is probably the most relaxed out of all the racers right now because she actually has the Omnitect connected, and there's not the looming threat of I have to do 11 more instances or 10 more instances or whatever to actually get to the boss.
That is where you want to be. Yes, CK did go back into the ledge. Havoc chimes in chat that natural resets are fine. You just can't be forcing the reset on the zones. So that's like an interesting point. Maybe that was kind of part of his strategy, was to be able to like go back to these zones being super overleveled, then get a really low level temple that he can smash through really quickly. So he's heading back to the zones that have naturally reset now. So if you know your timers, then you can take advantage of that potentially.
So we're going to see an Act 1 incursion and an Act 1 boss. That's actually like really smart because it doesn't push the level of the boss any higher if you naturally go back through and do all the Act 1 zones again, because the Omnitect is going to be squishier. You know, presuming you get your temple built quickly enough to make up for that, you know, where that loss of health on the boss matters. The more I think about it, though, the more it might not be that important, because with the kind of gear that you're rocking, you know, with this tabula and a screaming eagle or whatever weapon you choose to bring, probably you're going to be able to handle this Omnitect regardless.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too much of a challenge for them. Noodle just got an incursion that was in a room that was kind of off the side of her main path, but she needs that connection, right? And she logged out of it to just skip it because it was like, this isn't the room I need. But I feel like that was a missed opportunity, because if she had gotten 2 keys, which can certainly happen, she could well have connected both doors that she needed to actually create a complete path. And with how many incursions she has remaining, I feel like trying to do that it would have been a good idea. So we'll see if this ends up being much of a problem for her at all here. Still not having that apex connected.
Yeah. We haven't checked in as well with Paws recently. I'd like to see her temple sometime soon. Hopefully she finds another alpha and we can take a look at that. And Paws is actually going back through the previous zones as well, back at the Mud Flats, going to visit the very first alpha in the game. So 1 second on the reset, there we go, and allowed to make a new zone.
Nice. Yeah, good idea to check it ahead of time. So Noodle looks like her temple is, unless there was an explosive room in there I was missing, is done. Like that temple is dead.
Oh no.
She's not going to be able to get to the boss on that one.
Yeah.
So I saw her kind of like, you know, hand on mouth a little bit, kind of, I guess, in shock about the unfortunate. Looks like one of the rooms might have been like an incorrect door possibly, or just missed that opportunity and wasn't checking for those explosive rooms, so wasn't able to open up that final connection. So she's gonna have to try and start a new temple to see if she can get in there.
We've got the first temple entrance from PressStartToPaws. She has an explosive room, so she is able to connect, even though the connection doesn't look like it's there. She has the temple opening and closing quickly, but I was able to catch momentarily that there's an explosive room in the first half of her connected rooms. So this is
nice catch. That's huge.
Yeah, this is a successfully completed temple. I really expected to see Lara opening it first, because she completed her straight away so quickly.
Yeah, for sure. I thought she was getting there first for sure, but Paws really taking advantage of that explosive room then, and which is really smart plays. You know, recognizing that opportunity, and she probably skipped a whole bunch of extra incursions there as a result. And I barely even saw her in incursions, so that I think that fits. She did literally the bare minimum, and then got in there really quickly.
Yeah, and it seems like it's a similar strategy that CK was employing, actually. And CK is up at the boss already, by the way.
Hold on, what?
earlier on, when we were confused about what he was doing, evidently the strategy being employed was opening the incursions to get them to skip. You don't even have to go in. It skips the incursion. And
Wow.
he was gambling on getting a good layout, partially because he started with such a good layout on his temple. Like, as his starting spawn, he was able to do this.
Yeah, crazy. Well, this is like, so yeah, he was just skipping those entire incursions. Wow,
Yeah.
well, CK, well done, mate. Well done.
He made the call that he didn't need them. That's
yeah,
really
brand new race format, folks. Like, so a lot of new things to learn about how like the strategies for such a race can develop. And sorry we didn't recognize what was going on until so late. He does unfortunately die at the Omnitect though. He did open a portal in there.
Oh, Monka asked. Oh, and there's another one.
Still looks like it's gonna be.
See some of the action. Okay, we can see the health bar. The vaal Omnitect is down to about a quarter. There's a fifth. The waves are coming out, but he's just gonna surf into victory.
Wow, CK, well done. Sorry for doubting you, mate. Was very confused as to what was going on. But it looked like you knew exactly what you were doing the whole time, taking advantage of the nice temple layout spawn, and just open it. I think so. Just talking to Alva and not actually entering, but opening it seemed to have been enough then.
Yeah, when we were debating like whether you had to kill a boss or wait for 4 seconds or something, he was already on the next level. You don't even have to go in. You just talk to Alva and leave. You ignore her, and then she progresses the temple out of spite.
So for second place, although Paws was ahead of Lara, she had to spend a bit of extra time going and getting those explosives, and it looks like Lara's actually in the boss fight first. Yeah. So pulling ahead there.
And I sadly did not manage to memorize the entire temple layout, so I don't know where Paws is, but she did just flash it on the screen, so she is one room away from the boss, and if she can just get past these serpentine constructs, good lord, they are nasty. Get up to that boss fight with full flasks and maybe catch up to Lara, but Lara's already half health this thing.
Paws also, unfortunately, it looks like she had a tier 2 trap room.
Oof.
Very occasionally you can spawn with a tier 2 room in your temple. I've had it a couple times. And she might have got a tier 2 trap room out of that.
Yeah. I can't imagine she upgraded that on purpose, slowing darts and spikes.
No, probably not.
Unless you want to give the other players a sporting chance, you think you're that much better. But all right, that's actually no. Paws is half health.
Lara is flamethrower down.
Oh man, resurrected town. Wait, no. Checkpoint would checkpoint put you outside? Yeah, checkpoint would put you where Alva is, right? Right by the portals to the temple.
Resurrecting town. She's kind of face palming there a little bit, like,
oh man.
Where was my Alva? Where did I enter that temple? I can't remember. So she's going to have to run back and find Alva again. Hopefully she went into the right zone.
Well, that's going to cost her second place unless, Paws makes a similar mistake, but it doesn't seem likely. Paws
I think she had it too.
Kiting this decently well.
If not for that. Although these flamethrowers, they got Lara. Paws positioning beautifully between the flames. Oh, it turns back around. Almost. Nicely done. Nicely done, Paws. Second place. Well done. What a crazy and hectic race. Even with 2 of us and a separate cameraman, we had trouble keeping up with everything that was going on.
Oh no,
and
Lara.
The format too.
Oh no, the resurrecting town again, but there's a portal up. There's a portal up this time, okay.
Oh, she had a portal this time.
Yeah, she knows what she's about. Dying to the flamethrowers, though.
Oops.
And it seems like KittenCatNoodle, with the pretty atrocious luck in the early temple, has decided to sit out.
Thrown in the towel, yeah. Very unfortunate. Not the way you want to have it end up, but still a good effort anyway. Just wasn't able to quite get there in the end. Larry going down with another death there.
Squished by the Omnitect. One of the downsides, I think. I would have loved to see KittenCatNoodle get to the Omnitect fight, because I think one of the downsides of going this melee was, you have to stand under the Omnitect sometimes, and that just damages you over time.
He has that jet fuel thing going on underneath. Nicely done to Lara. Securing the kill at the end there. Almost dies another time. What an entertaining and crazy race. Congratulations to CK, the winner, who wins a Chaos Orb helmet and 5 mystery boxes out, and our adoration. And, he made a fool of the casters too, because we had no clue what he was doing. And turns out he knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. A very nice second place from Paws as well. Getting that explosives room, very impressed by that, taking advantage of the explosives room. And Lara with a very hectic final fight, finishing it off. Thank you very much for casting with me, mate. That was very entertaining.
Of course it was. That was a lot of fun to watch. Thank you for casting alongside me as well, Ziggy. It's been a pleasure.
And good camera work. I presume Havoc. I wasn't actually watching, but I presume it was good. He's in here.
It was all right,
that was a lot of fun. Very interesting race format. I think we need to do more of those, Havoc, because now that we have some idea of like some of these strategies that have been taken advantage of, it'll be interesting to see how it plays out again in the future.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's like some new elements that can be brought in. You know, there's so many weapons that you could choose between and skill setups. I was honestly surprised that we didn't see any sort of spell casting setup. Like nothing at all. No early explosive trapper for like absolutely obnoxious. Well, no, what you want is clear for the incursion. So maybe arc trapper as early as you can get it. You know, start with explosive or something, and then go into arc. Start with explosive frostbomb. You know, like the usual. But you know, the strategy.
I think what it comes down to is I think what it comes down to is like those unique weapons attack builds just really take advantage of that extra damage more so than the spellcasters do. But yeah, I was surprised we saw 3 Screaming Eagles. That wouldn't have been my first pick, but it looked like it worked really well from that move speed. Pretty spicy.
Yeah, for sure. And evidently we are attempting to get an interview rolling with presumably CK, though possibly any of the other contestants as well. That should be fun.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get something like that happening.
It would be interesting to fill around with the rule set as well. See if there's something that changes, you know, if you make it a unique item instead of a unique weapon, but then everyone brings 7 league steps. Or something along those lines. I mean, maybe impose some sort of a budget. I don't know. It is unfortunately pretty heavily down to Temple RNG though, as we saw with, you know, KittenCatNoodle's an unfortunate end. She had such a good early spawn too.
I'm curious if she missed the option or like the opportunity to connect that, or if like connected the wrong door or went for one of the doors and not the other one, or if it was actually just a screw. Because like there is a very, very small chance of you just not ever landing in the room you need to connect the temple, but it is pretty, like, the odds of it are actually pretty low. It seems more likely that it was like she needed to open 2 doors. Yeah,
it looks like Noodle will be joining us for an interview momentarily, so
awesome stuff. I can ask that question myself.
Yeah.
Hello, Noodle. How you doing?
I want to punch the temple in the face right now.
Beautiful.
She didn't even give me the opportunity to go in either of the top rooms.
Oh no, I was gonna ask because we weren't quite sure. It was hard to keep track of everything. Was it like you needed to hit 2 doors in one of those rooms, or you just never landed in the room you needed?
Never landed in the either of the top 2, so I needed to land in.
Oh no, that is brutal.
Yeah, I really only needed to do 2 incursions theoretically to have a full connection, so I thought, cool. I've done 20, 25 runs of this and only had this happen once before.
Oh man, I guess that's the thing with these like novelty races. They're very fun and unusual, but you know, it's something like that can happen. So I'm sorry that happened, Noodle. That is a very unfortunate way for it to go down. You were running really well there, and
thank you. Yeah, it was a good run. I think I would have gotten like 25-15, so I probably would have gotten second.
Very nice. We were talking about the choices of like starter items. What was your thought process for yours?
So I figured having Mirage Archer is going to be a great way for me to clear quickly, get a lot of XP. But with bows, I mean, the only real option for using is Quill Rain. It is kind of rough up until 4 when I can actually use Mirage Archer, but I figured stacking move speed, attack speed, that's where I wanted to go.
Yeah, the Mirage Archer and the damage of that at those low levels looks insane. But yeah, I guess that's the thing. You can't really equip it from level 1. And if you want to get a level 1 bow unique, well, it's not that good. The Silver Branch, not quite as good.
Right.
Yeah, fair choice.
I do really like the decision of Mirage Archer. It leans into what I think is most important with this format, which is being able to reliably clear every mob in the incursion, because you never know when you're going to have an incursion where the last monster is holding the stone that you need to get up to the top of the temple. It would have been nice if
Yeah.
that were the bad luck that you got instead
I would
of.
rather have that happen, yes.
Yeah, indeed.
That's
Sorry,
just too
sorry.
bad.
Sorry, Alva didn't cooperate with you, but a damn fine showing nonetheless. Thank you very much, KittenCatNoodle.
Thank you.
Oh, looks like we might have Lara joining us here.
Oh boy. We get to hear the story of the resurrecting town. The what, double, triple?
She is currently muted though.
It seemed like the flamethrower. Oh, goodbye.
Oh no, never mind.
It seemed like the flamethrower effect was the most dangerous part of the Omnitect fight, though. So focusing on like trying to get fire res on your other gear outside of the tabula and the weapon that you choose might be
Hello?
a good choice. Hi, Lara.
Hey,
Hey.
sorry, I was on the browser version. The browser version doesn't register my voice, so I couldn't speak, so I had to open up the app on my computer.
All right, all good now. How did your first Omnitect kill race, the first of any ever Omnitect kill race, go for you, Lara?
I don't think it was too bad, honestly. It was such a forehead move, clicking Resurrect in Town 2 times, dude. Apparently, I would have had second place if I didn't click Resurrect in Town, but you know, whatever. It was pretty fun. I was just I was trying to secure the 4th place, but you know, trying to come in with that wheelchair, but I did my best. I did my best. It was fun. It's pretty fun.
Yeah, good effort. You were on track to be paused by maybe like a few seconds. You guys were both in that fight at the same time there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that did not go so well. The flamethrower was what got you, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was so. The second time I went in, I got insta gift.
If you were to be in a repeat of the race, what would you try and do differently?
If I
Aside
was in a
from click
repeat,
resurrect a
I
checkpoint.
would probably, well, first, I would probably not click Resurrect in Town. Second of all, I'd get better mana flasks.
strat.
I found that I couldn't use Leap Slam a lot because I was running out of mana. So there was
Yeah.
that. I don't know what else.
How'd you like your choice of Screaming Eagle? We actually saw 3 players go Screaming Eagle. Did you guys
Honestly,
collaborate on that?
huge shout out to my dude CK. He's freaking awesome. His stream was awesome. Y'all check it out. I honestly didn't really practice that much for this. I was just, you know, not really taking it that seriously. And then CK shared his pro strats with me. So it's because of him that I went Screaming Eagle, Frostblades, Molten Strikes. So yeah, he's awesome, dude. He's an awesome guy. Awesome streamer.
Ah, very nicely done. And, you know, pilfering strats off other races is a part of the legitimate racing
Exactly,
strategy.
dude.
So very well
Exactly.
done.
No shame. No shame whatsoever.
No shame. Good on you. Good on you. Well, very, very good effort. Nice, entertaining final fight there. Thank you very much.
Well, thank
DC.
you for inviting me to race.
Oh, well, not my doing, but I'll accept. Thank you very much.
Well, both you and Havoc
Havoc's
were
game.
organizing the whole thing.
Mr. Havoc in the background there. Are we able to get anyone else in? Anyone else want to do an interview before we finish things up?
I am attempting to get CK in here, but he's having trouble for joining Discord at the moment. So we
Yes.
might not be
Aw.
able to get an interview. If Paws wants to join, we could grab her in here. She looks like she is available, so let's have a quick chat with her.
Hello, Pause.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
You stole second away from Lara.
Yes.
Well done.
I've been told.
How did you feel like you went with your race, Boz?
I feel like I got really lucky. Like, the first incursion I did was so clutch. Like, less than a second. I don't even know how I managed to click that to open the door.
I think
Yeah, it
we
was,
must have been distracted at the time. The first incursion, what did that, give you? What did that give you access to?
I had connected my room to the Apex, and I
Oh,
had an
nice.
explosive room, so it was the only connection I actually needed to make, and I made it in the last second.
Yeah, we saw that you we'd had trouble keeping track of your temple in particular, and I think that was just because you were able to skip so much once you had that explosives room. So not nicely done, getting that ready. Did you have to upgrade that explosives room, or it was just there from the beginning?
It was just there from the beginning. I had the
Oh,
option to upgrade it. I kept staring at it, making sure it's there and it doesn't disappear.
Yeah, not a trick of the light or something. Not a mistake you want to make.
Sounds like you sapped away all of KittenCatNoodle's luck. You got an explosive room and the exact incursion you needed from room 1. That is kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, I heard that there were troubles with the temples. Honestly, like, I only did very few practice runs, and I had issues. Like, one of my runs, I just rage quit. I was like, screw the temple.
Done. Okay, well, it went a lot smoother for you in the actual race. We noticed 3 races went Screaming Eagle. Lara admitted that she just stole the idea of CK. What was your decision for Screaming Eagle over any of the other options you could have had?
Well, the movement speed. Given my luck with movement speed boots, I was like, I'm gonna need the movement speed. Because the first 2 incursions, I had trouble always connecting paths if I needed them, and the only thing I missed was always movement speed. That's why I also went for the quick.
Just the ability to like deliver that key to the door, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It is huge for those incursions, especially those early ones before you're able to get any move speed boots or anything like that, or even, you know, just like get enough killing speed to just get through them. Those early ones can be rough, as everyone who has played Incursion League will attest to. Well done on securing that second place, though. Very, very smooth. Very entertaining race. This was super crazy and hard to keep track of. Very entertaining.
Yeah, it was definitely very fun. It was a nice idea to do.
Yeah, I hope we get to do something like this again in the future. Thank you very much, Pawns.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. Oh, looks like we have gotten CK in here. CK, mate, are you there?
Oh yeah, what's going on, guys?
Hey, dude. Okay, firstly, I owe you an apology. I had no idea what you were doing, and I was like...
I had no idea what I was doing.
Well, apparently you did, because I was thinking that you might have misread the rules and you were intending to go into Ship Graveyard and then farm the small zone in there, because it looked like you were just skipping everything. And then, yeah, and then it turned out the whole time you'd just like, you'd looked at your temple. Yeah, tell us what happened. What happened? Like, how did you build your temple?
Dude, I don't know. I got like pretty unethical RNG on my temple, to be honest. Like, well, first of all, okay. Let me just first of all just apologize to everyone for all that shit on my screen. I definitely fat fingered my keys there, and I thought they were down. I thought I like put them up for a second and then took them down, so I apologize about that. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I just like I was keeping an eye out for the explosives room. I saw that I only needed 1 link to like the second top row, and yeah, I hit the explosives room, so I went for it, connected it to the entrance, and I didn't even need it.
So
fair enough.
We didn't.
Yeah, go ahead.
Since you were skipping a lot of your alphas, we didn't really get to see much of your temple because you talk to her for half a second, then walk away. How early on were you secure? Basically, like what zone was it, or if you don't remember specifically, like what village around then?
I think I did my first incursion. I don't know, dude. It was like Ship Graveyard, maybe. I think I only went into 2 incursions in total. One of them was just a link off to the side, which I thought I might need because I did a couple of practice runs, and like I actually had a couple of practice runs where I wasn't able to link my temple at all. And I was like, fuck, I hope that doesn't. Bugger. Hope that doesn't happen on that.
Bugger. Not a great confidence boost, right?
Yeah. So I was just keeping an eye out for the explosives room, and I haven't did it. So yeah.
So a little minor strategy thing that we noticed was that you can just talk to Alva, open the temple, but you don't actually the incursion, but you don't actually need to go in there, right? Is that what you were doing? And that's why we had no idea what you were doing.
Yeah.
Well,
sorry about
played with that one.
Yeah. So you can just open it. As long as you open it and you can just run away. It won't give you the same incursion again. And then on the last one, obviously you can go in, and it takes about 5 seconds to come up with a portal to get back out. But it's a lot faster, like just going in, spending 5 seconds in there, coming out, and then you can talk to Alva again and just open the temple in the same instance. So
dude, you had the fine tuning worked out, and I said, I learned today because I did not know that. I don't think I've ever like opened an incursion and not ran it because it's not how you normally do it. But you worked out the strategy.
Dude, it's been
Nice.
screwing with me for the last few days when I'm not like practicing for the race. Like I'll hit an incursion in a map and I'll just start running past it, and then I'll get halfway through the map and I'll be like, oh, bugger, gotta turn around, go back.
Well,
So,
your
yeah,
practice and your pain has paid off, CK. Nicely done, man. And looks like you won some nice MTX prizes too. So congrats, dude.
Yeah, looking forward to that. Another 5 mystery boxes. Hopefully I can finally get some good stuff.
Very nice. Alrighty, dude. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to watch.
Thanks, guys. Bye, guys. Bye.
Alrighty, Octavian, thank you for co-casting with me. This was an absolute pleasure. Thank you, viewers. I want to give you guys a special shout out today because I loved your meme copy pastas in chat today. The all the different things you guys came up with to support your favorite races. It was highly entertaining.
KittenCatNoodle venting a little bit. I practiced a lot and my run was great, and Alva can suck it in all caps. I have to sympathize a little bit.
I think that is fair.
I wouldn't do an incursion for the rest of the day. Screw Alva. Get out of here with your temples. Didn't help me in my time of need. You're not getting any loot from this.
That's it. Punished. And Havoc, you there? I know you're lurking there in the background.
I am right here, always listening, always watching. You know I am.
Thank you for your camera work.
No problem. You too. Thank you, Octavian, for joining me very last minute, and Ziggy, thank you again. You know, your work is awesome. Both of your work is awesome. So thanks again.
No problem.
Looks like chat's hype for some Rushido.
Oh, they are hyped. They're waiting. They're like, can you guys just end already? But come on, man. So before we end, I have to let you guys know we'll be resuming again tomorrow at 4 p.m. EST. You can see the countdown timers in the Reddit schedule post. So in the first match, we will have Garotha, Fightcart, Zizerna, and Rise QT. And the second event will be Heshla, Den and Doom, the Uber Elite, and Sir Crushington. So we will not be having the top 4 times overall, but we're going back to what we did in the previous tournament, where it's the top 2 times per group will progress. So make sure to cash that tomorrow. I'm Havoc616. Joining me was Ziggy D and Octavian. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Oh, I stole it again. I forgot. I'm so sorry, Ziggy. We'll see you guys next time.
See you guys next time.
Oh, no.
Playback.